Ooh, am I cute? Am I cute? Yes, you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I love you. God loves you best. Don't worry about where I've been, because I'm back with another video.
I want you to grind me up, roll me like you love me, make it last enough, stroke me while you smoke me.
Hey babe, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone. That's what I like to do. I'm that family member that goes off into the distance and you see them during the holidays. But it's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's put some little distance there. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. But I want to get a little bit more consistent with my content. And I found something that I wanted to talk to my babes about. And that be Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 5, True or False. Now, before we get into the episode, I just want to do some church announcements real quick. I'm very, very happy to share that I am no longer in the finance and accounting department. I have segued into human resources. I am a new member of the human resources team. I'm very excited about that because that is my career path, and I'm looking forward to being a sponge and just absorbing all the knowledge that I can. I will still assume my current responsibilities, being payroll and benefits, but I will be adding to those tasks and responsibilities. So thank you in advance for the congratulations. And now back to our regular programming. So, Love After Lockup. Let's talk about our beloved cast. We have True and Shantae. We have Letitia and Keith. We have Joey and Kim. Christina and Julian. Zuria and Troy. Am I forgetting anybody? Arthur and Hope. Those are our cast members. And there's enough here to keep a conversation going. There's enough here to create a dialogue. So let's just dissect it. Okay, so the show opens up with True with his sister Angelique. They're at the gym, and old girl Tisha decides to show up. I'm sure it was planned. Angelique's friend, the girl that True used to talk to, she show up. And she was on ready. She said that dude smelled pluckable. You fill it in. She said that his sweat smelled good. And I'm like, I'm not saying it can't be, attracting. Maybe it's his pheromones. I don't know. But that's what she was saying, and that's what she was given. But they had a little conversation, and True wanted to know, kind of like what her intentions was, what she wanted, what she was around for. And she's like, I'm here to be your homie, lover, friend. I left you out in the rain before, but I got an umbrella now to cover you from the storm. And I was like, how poetic. And he was like, I know girls like that. If they left you once, they'll leave you again. I don't trust it. I'm like, okay, keep your good eye on her, True. And True let her know, well, I'm in a relationship. And I love old girl. She stuck it out with me while I was locked up for the last 2 years. And, but he was talking out of both sides of his mouth, because in the same breath while he was letting her know that he was in a relationship and declaring his love, in his next breath he said, like, but you know, it's different when you've been out, and it's like I'm seeing all these things and I don't really know if I can actually be who and what she wants me to be at the present. I'm like, okay, these are things that you need to be telling Shantae, but okay, speak your truth. And then Tisha gave some insight saying, well, people aren't the same person that you are when you're in versus once you're out. And that is true. Shantae never went to see this man. And I really think that has a lot to do with her esteem. But we're going to get into that later. You know, she sent the little photos and everything, but she never went. But she wanted to be engaged to him. And then Tisha was like, you know, I got you. You could call me 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It don't matter, because this puss is ready. And I was like, her hot and ready light is on. And I'm like, okay, girl, do what you do. And so Angelique said that True is feeling it because, you know, the other one, called Shantae the other one. The other one, she, you know, we just gonna call her introverted. She's not really socially engaging, okay? She feel more comfortable on her phone, like just, but that's where True is at the moment with his situation. Next, we go on to Kim and Joey. Now, Kim and Joey, Kim going about this all wrong, but we just gonna tell the story. So it's Christmas Day. They wake up with the kids. They wake up with the babies, and they got the Christmas tree, and Joey got the toys, and he bringing them in, and the kids going out, and they like, rah rah sis boom ba, it's a yabba dabba do time, okay? And so they do a little Christmas photo, and Joey, he on the phone. He texts him. And Kim say, who that? He say, nobody. But why you texting? Chill. It's nothing. She let it go. So then she decides it's Christmas. Close your eyes, Joey. Walks him outside. Ta-da! Got him a new car. We don't call it a new car because it's new to him. I don't know if it's pre-owned. I don't know if it's used. But I know she told us she make $15 an hour. And she just got this a car. Stay with me now. Got him the car. But she lets us know in her confessional, she didn't put all kind of air tags, whatever that is, low jacks and all kinds of stuff in that car so she could track him like Inspector Gadget soon as he, and if in fact he is not where he's supposed to be, she's going to do a personal repo on the car. But my thing is, why get him a car? You said it's so that he'll be able to get to work. But y'all could carpool. Let him earn some money. Let him accumulate some liquid assets so that he can purchase himself a vehicle. Give him some sense of accomplishment. Let him feel like a man. But no, you enable him and you go out there and buy him a car as if that's going to keep him. No, Kim, all that's going to do is aid him in getting to where he really want to be. But your spidey senses was tingling because soon as you gave him them keys, he finished texting and he got his clothes on, did not bathe. Did y'all see how he went from PJs to outerwear? Got his clothes on and told her, I'll be back. She said, where are you going? Chill. Don't worry about it. I'll be back. But where you going? It's Christmas Day. I'll be back. So now Kim is feeling sense of uncertainty, and she's not sure if she made the right decision in giving Big JoJo the car. Girl, I could have told you that. Anyway, we move on to Julian and Christine. Now, this was more of an observational thing because the scene opens up and they're in bed. It's a new day. I think it's her, is it her first day or her third day? One of them days out of prison. And we saw when she went to bed the last time when she was getting ready for bed, her attire was not loungewear. It wasn't nightwear. It was more of a sundress. But that was what she wore to bed. Maybe that's what she had available. I guess Julian didn't go and get her anything. That's what she had. So use what you got. And they wake up and she got on her sundress and he got on his knickers and his red shirt, and they are basking in their post-coital bliss. And Julian asked her how she feels about, seeing her mom, and she's like, she don't know if she's ready for that because just the thought of it is triggering, and she want to see her son, and her mom won't let her see her son. We know the backstory that she started using, and her mama went to court, got custody of her child, and that's what it's been ever since. And she just nervous about if she'll be able to see her son. She want to see her child. And I hope Jungle Jim jaw, because her jaw is like a jungle gym. It just swing when she talk. Her jaw swing. I mean, I wish I could do it, but I can't talk. I don't know how. I just don't understand how it works. But it just move. It's like a jungle gym. It just moves. It's like somebody swinging on her jaw. But that's what Jungle Jim Jaw is worried about, seeing her child. Then she brings up and asks Julian, because he told her, well, you don't have to worry about having friends and family, because my family will be your family and my friends will be your friends, and we're just going to live as one big happy family. And she's like, but do they know about my past? Do they know that I am a convicted felon? Do they know that I was incarcerated? He's like, well, it's no need to murk the waters with all of that information right now. I mean, it'll come up eventually. They'll find out. I just want them to get to know you for the wonderful person that you are first. And then, Julian shares with us that, he's a secretive person and he's a private person. Now, the word that stuck out to me, because words are profound. Words are telling. He said he is a secretive person. People who keep secrets, you gotta keep your eye on them. Because just like he's not telling them about her, what is it that Julian is not telling her about his family? Because he might be painting this picture of bliss and they're so open and welcoming, and it may be a whole nother experience. So I would be inclined to dig a little bit deeper about that one, Christine, before you go jumping in to meeting them people. But it looks like you don't have a choice. I don't know. Now we gonna move on to Zariah and Troy. Now, Zariah, first of all, we have to remember that Zariah is the one that brought this situation into their situation. The situation being the mama, Miss Karen. She was the one that dug up that sand. She kicked up that sand, and that man said, look, I will talk to my mama when I am in a place, in a space where I'm ready to talk to her. I don't think this is the time. But she was insistent. So now Miss Karen is here. Troy done picked her up and brought her to the house. They coming into the house. And she's like, ooh, this is nice. It's clean. She going around, looking around the house. And guys, it smell like baby powder. It don't stink. I was like, okay, Miss Karen. She around here like DCF. She say she the inspector. So go ahead and work it out. And so, Zariah lets him know that she ordered food and everything. Miss Karen sitting there talking to her son, and then she brings up Yana, his baby mama. He has a daughter, I think she might be 11 years old. Her name is Troy also. And he has not seen her in 7 years. So maybe the last time he saw her when she was like 4. But the whole conversation of Yana just being brought up and just being spoken about gave Zariah this sense of anxiety and anxiousness. Well, it gave her anxiety and uneasiness is what I wanted to say. And I don't understand why it shouldn't have given her that feeling. I could see if she got irritated. I could see if she felt a sense of annoyance, but not anxiety or uneasiness over a person you've never met. Just the thought of her. So it sounds like to me, Zariah, you don't seem that secure in your relationship. Especially with it playing in your mind, you went to the tarot card lady, and the tarot lady told you, your marriage ain't in the cards. It's gonna be over before it start. She asked her, is he the one? She said, hell no. And to me, it sounded real pointed. I'm like, is the tarot card lady your homegirl? Because I was like, is she giving off a strong sense of stranger danger? You need to get back. Or, like, is that your friend and she happened to read the cards and she was like, she's, her answers are leading. But, I don't know. But that's playing in Zariah's head. And she's like, I don't know what to do. And, I want to build this relationship and all this fool-la-la. So then at the end of the night, they're getting ready for bed and everything. And so Troy goes in to talk to Zariah. He's like, baby, what's wrong? She's like, Nothing. He's like, you don't want to talk? She's like, I don't want to talk. Nothing. I don't want to talk about it. And I think that is so bad when with communication, people, you need to talk about if something wrong, talk about it. But she didn't want to talk. And so he was like, okay, so where am I asleep? And this chick said, I don't know. Good night. There's a reoccurring theme here with these broads. They saying they love their man, but they acting like POs and COs around here. Like their actions are very controlling. And if it doesn't go the way they want, there is going to be some detrimental consequences that they can create because these men are at these women's mercy. And it's an unfortunate situation. I guess I feel like, what the F, because I couldn't imagine myself in that situation. I'm like, no, you're not just going to have that kind of control over me and call it love. So, then we move on to Arthur and Hope. So, Arthur decides he gonna spend some time with his mama, and they go to the ice cream shop, and then he recaps and he shares with us, his mom was supportive. He said, like, the first time he went in, she came like twice a year. The second time it was like once a year. And then, like, after that, she was like, deuces, you on your own. You keep going back. You want to be a career criminal. And I'm just not going to do it. So, she wasn't coming to the jail cell no more. And so, she was just saying how she wants to rebuild her relationship with her baby. She missed that time that she had, and she started, contemplating whether she was to blame for the path that he took because she worked so much. And he immediately assured his mother that, no, mommy, you are not to blame. I was disobedient. I wasn't following the rules. I didn't want to mind you. And as a result of my actions is what got me where I am. So you can rest peacefully, mommy, that this is not because of you. You were a single mom. You had to work. And I understood that. I know that. And I appreciate you. You were a good mother. And I could see the emotion in her face. But what really got me in this scene is when Arthur started to reflect on his life choices, and it was very profound. He went back to 17 and he said, I remember when you were getting on my case and you wanted me to do my laundry, and I was like, F that, I'm not doing no laundry. And it's when he made that decision that he got locked up. And he said he thought about that every day that he was locked up. And as the tears just started to come down his face, for a moment, I saw that little boy. I saw that little boy that went in before he became what he is now. And he said how he got in is because he was trying to be loyal to a friend whose life basically was on the line. This was a life or death situation. And I guess they was going to go and try and hit a lick, and it just didn't go the way they planned. And it landed him back in prison. So, his mama's just like, you can come home. It's nothing keeping you here. You don't have nothing keeping you here. So in her eyes, hope is a factor, null and void. She's unimportant. She is unavailable. She's unreliable. She's an okay? Mama don't see it for Miss Hope. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, Arthur is an adult and he has to make his decisions in spite of or despite what his mother's expectations might be. Moving right along, we got Letitia and Keith. Now this is a hot stinking mess of foo-la-la. They got this penitentiary paralegal named Ben, who's supposed to be aiding in Keith's release. Y'all should know better. Y'all should know better. This man needs an attorney, a litigator, an attorney. Now, the attorney can have a paralegal, but his resume extends from him going to the law library when he was locked up, because he's a former federal inmate. And he said he got himself out. I need to see more credentials. I don't know how you could give no money to somebody like that. And if he gonna withhold some pertinent information like that, saying that he didn't want it to be, he didn't want them looking at that instead of like his qualifications. No, I need to know everything. That's why you do background checks on people that you're working with. So he start using all these words. He's saying that the grounds are meritorious, meaning that the case has merit, has grounds for dismissal based on his merit. But it's just funny how he was just throwing around his words. And then he says, I looked through it with a fine handle comb. Fine tooth comb? I just saying. And he said, Keith's sentencing was illegal. He said it was an illegal sentencing. And she like, nobody never caught that? He's like, because he looked through he dotted the I's, he crossed the T's. I'm like, okay, friend. And he said that once he submit that appeal that he presented to her, he said that that would be grounds for an automatic expungement. Now, I'm not an attorney. I worked in the law firms. But I'm not a litigator, But I thought that you couldn't get an expungement until your case is dismissed or you're found not guilty. There has to be a reason for them to seal these records. That's basically what an expungement is. They're sealing these records and they can't be open. It can't be. No. So when they look you up, that ain't going to come up. But there has to be some type of judgment. But that's what he said. So he said, and now that we got the public pretender, I said, oh no, he didn't. Now that we got the public pretender out the way, we can proceed forward. And the one thing I agree with Tisha when she said, I don't believe nothing he's saying. I just think he just talking a bunch of stuff. And that's how I felt about Ben too. And if you so skilled at what you do, and I would think it yields a substantial monetary return for you, why you ain't got no teeth yet? Y'all notice he ain't got nothing up there. But I'm let that alone. Now we get back to Shantae and True. Shantae said, look, this nigga ain't spend no time with me. The family he's supposed to have such a contentious relationship with, that's who he been with all this time. He from here. I'm from Independence. So guess what? I'm finna leave this Airbnb and take my bald head ass back to Independence. And I said, good for you, girl. True gets back to the house and he like, where you going? She say, I'm leaving. Now how she explained it is, I gotta get back to my kids. I gotta get back to my grandkids. When she should have just said, this ain't working for me. And I'm going back home. Where my life is. My life is there. So I'm going back home. And then she brings up, so, what's this mean about our relationship? Because since you've been out, it hasn't been one good day. And she said, have you had a good day? And so he's like, look, she got to understand, I've been locked up for 13 years. He like, it's a whole new world out here for him. He is unbelievable stars, indescribable feelings. That's what True on. And I get it. It's like coming into a whole new experience. It's like a rebirth. So he wants to experience that. And he would have been good experiencing it with her, but she's so introverted and so closed off, and she just want to be stuck in the house. And he told her, look, I didn't realize that this is who you really were, because I didn't see you. I didn't get to really know that part about you. But now that I do know that about you, I ain't feeling it. And child, Shantae just lost it. She was finna flip her wig. She said, I don't care. And we all know when people saying they don't care repeatedly, it's because they do care. My granny used to say, don't care, ain't got no home. Ha! Baby. She was just broken. She was broken. She started going in there packing her clothes. He was like, hey, yo, I know you did a lot. I know you bought those clothes. I knew you did a lot for me. So here go a stack. And she was like, keep it. I don't want it. He's like, no, for real. Here, take the money, He's saying that was money that he had put aside for him to get a car. But he was like, Shantae come first, and rightfully so. You should reimburse her for her pain and suffering. I don't think that's a lot. I don't think that's enough, because old girl say she just got a new house and she ain't got no job. Now, baby girl, you should feel stupid. One chick worked 15. She made $15 an hour, but she around here buying cars. Cars for crackheads. Shantae says she ain't got no job, so she is unemployed, and she got a new house. Now I don't know if she bought it, I don't know if it's a rental, I don't know what the situation is, but she extended herself financially to get a new dwelling place, to start anew with True. And it's not working out that way. So we give it $1,000, and I would be like, girl, you better take that. Take that. They are no more. She going back to where she come from. He gonna stay where he at. And that's just how that went down. So now we get to Joey and Kim. So Joey in the truck, he riding around with a camera crew, and he's showing them the neighborhood. He riding around. He was like, the kids was just getting too much. They was wrecking his brain. While he is embracing fatherhood, he was like, that was just too much too soon. They was like, yeah. And he was like, no. So she created an opportunity for me to get out, so I'm gonna take it. And then he was recounting memories of his best friend Tanner, and sharing how he hadn't grieved properly yet, and talking about how Tanner died, how he was on a Xanax run, and he decided to speed a Mustang with no lights on and hit a pole. The end. But I thought it was telling that Joey had to show us where the dope holes was. Like, he hasn't forgotten where the dope holes are. And he was recounting how he got in the game, and how, how he got into his sales, his pharmaceutical sales. So yeah, while he doing that, Kim, she at the house stressing, looking on her apps, tracking him, trying to figure out where he be, where he go. And she's like, I don't know his triggers yet. I don't know all that's gonna make him, And I was just trying to do the right thing, but I'm uncertain now. People on here got a lot of uncertainty about the decisions that they make. I'm noticing these patterns. But now I think she's feeling regretful about getting that vehicle. And she's like, oh, if he's not going to do what he's supposed to, I'm just going to have to take it back. Good luck with that. Now, we back with Tisha. Tisha meets up with her girlfriend at the bar lounge. And she starts talking about, the scammer that be Ben. And how she's like, she thought that Keith was going to be getting out and all of this stuff. And she was like, the friend was like, well, how your family and stuff, how they feel about it? She was like, I wouldn't even told his family, my baby was all emotional, and they showed the baby just, I just want my daddy. And I'm like, oh girl, he ain't your pappy. And then Natisha talking about the financial strain, all the money that she then dished out between putting money on Keith's books, attorneys, this penitentiary paralegal. She got a flailing business and employees that she got to try and maintain. And she say right now she just feels like a failure. She embarrassed and she feels unsure. And I say I agree with all of that. You should feel like a failure. You should be embarrassed, and you should be unsure about what you're doing, because I ain't seen where you did one right thing yet. Not yet. And you got your kids involved. And the oldest, she just waiting for the ish to hit the fan. Like, she is not invested. Like, she don't want that man coming to your house. He could get out all he wants to, as long as he don't park himself in that house. She is okay. So if you want that, I guarantee you, your oldest girl, she is going to be making arrangements to live elsewhere. She not going to live in that house with no Mr. Keith, no ma'am, no Toucan Sam, So they asked her, how's your business? We could cut the camera. Y'all like my green scrub? I want to be seen green. Wouldn't be caught dead red. And if you're not seen green, that means you have no bread. I wish I could lift Letitia up in prayer, but it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause. She is too far gone, and she can't see the light. But that was very telling. She won't talk about their business or the lack thereof. Moving right along. So we got Arthur. Arthur told his mama, I'm going to stay and hold it down in Texas with Hope. Mama said, no, baby, no. I got my concerns about that. What if she does something that triggers you and lands you back in jail? She's like, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. And he's like, Mama, I mean, right now, I got to do what I got to do. And what I got to do is make the decision to hold it down here in Texas with Hope. At least for now. And he said, I'm going to be okay. You don't have to worry. I'm going to be okay. And the mama is not good with it. She want her baby home with her back in Vegas. She want to put his head on her lap while they laying in bed watching TV and kikiing at the shows. Mama want to go back in time. If I could turn back time. She want to turn back time. But can't do that. And like Arthur said, Mama can't get back that time. And he said, I'm not the person that they remember me to be. I'm not that person anymore. So that was, he said a lot. He said a lot with saying little. But Mama, you know, she received it. So they get back to the apartment building, and she drops him off, and she embraces her son, and she let her baby know that she loves him and still give some consideration to what she said. And he said, Mama, I'm gonna be all right, but I love you. And she said, I love you too. Now, on the TV screen, it said 12:04 a.m. 12:04 a.m. Okay? And Arthur just getting back to the crib. So it's midnight and not the one answer, 'cause Hope thinks that he's with the dancer. Or maybe his mama got in his head. Oh, it's midnight and Hope's about to lose it, 'cause Arthur's got a feeling kinda stupid, regretful wishing she stayed in her truck instead. And it's only 'cause it's 12 a.m. Like, girl, he walked in that door. She said, don't what's up me. Like, where you been? Did you have fun with your mama? He was like, yeah. And she was like, I cooked for you. You know, she cooked some hamburger helper, some tacos, whatever. But she said it's what he wanted, bless her heart. And she cooked. And he was like, can we just talk about this in the morning? And she was like, all right. The end. Now we gonna move on to I'm flipping. Zariah and Troy. Okay. So Zariah get up in the morning and she come out the room and he spoke. She ain't speak to old boy. I'm like, that's rude. You didn't let him sleep in the room. Now you don't speak to him in the morning. But she go back in her room. Mama wake up. She like, did you talk to Zariah yet? It's like, you need to let them know that you the man. And your voice need to be heard. So go in there and talk to your wife. So he go in there. He talked to his wife. She apologized. She said maybe she was being kind of petty. I'm like, no, actually you were. They talk about the Yana and how she didn't like how, you know, the mama was bringing her up, and then also her expectations, how it didn't go exactly the way she thought it would. And I'm like, this the same lady that you say when you went to visit her, she kicked you out her house. Like, why would you have any expectations? If anything, you should be expecting something to happen. That should be your only expectation. When it's Karen around, some shit gonna go down. That's it. So they get up and start getting ready for church. Miss Karen got ready. Miss Karen say, I ain't got no panties. What? Miss Karen ain't got no panties. Miss Karen said she gonna let the Holy Ghost hit her. And she gonna let it move how it may. And if her leg go up, hey! So I was like, whoa, it's finna be a spirit up in this service today. And she said, let me get my coochie spray. So she had to get a coochie spray. I say, just a sprinkle a day. On top of that, Miss Karen took not one, but 2 gummies. She chomped down on some edibles for breakfast, and she said, she offered Troy some. I mean, she was gracious. She said, you want some? I knew he wasn't going to partake because he got that nice jewelry on his ankle. So he's still a ward of the state. And she said they're 1,000 milligrams. Now, from what I know, don't ask me how, but if she said that package was 1,000 milligrams, that means that each gummy was 100 milligrams. And she took 2. She said, you know, later on I'm going to be a little Now, don't ask me how, but I know why she was where she was at. Okay? I'm just going to go ahead and go to the church. So when they got to the church, they in there and they in there clapping it up, praising the Lord. And another observation, because she said they was Baptists. And I couldn't help but notice how the sanctuary was a little sparse. Like, it wasn't that many lay members in the building. But that's all right. The words say where 3 or more gathered in his name, they was on to something. But Zariah daddy, he's giving the sermon, and the mama just started kikiing. She just started cracking up, saying he sound like a comedian. And she just couldn't control herself. And Zariah sent her son, say, get Grandma Karen some tissues. And she was just having a yabba dabba do time. I don't know if it was a sativa. I don't know if it was an indica. I don't know if it was both. But baby girl was lifted. And it wasn't in Jesus' name. But that was church. And Zariah, you know, I guess that gave her some anxiety too. But like you said, y'all can't control Miss Karen. Miss Karen gonna do what she do. And she did. We moved back over there to Christina and Julian. Now, Christina go and get her hair done. She said, now in jail, you can get them $5 box jobs. She said, I'm not putting that shit in my head. She said, it's been 7 months since I've been bleached, and I'm willing to wait before I put that in my head. So I guess, you know, she not a Clairol girl. But that tab for her due came up to $195. I don't know if that included tip or not, but Julian's response was, I think I might have something on here. I was like, whoa, that don't sound too certain. He said that was her get out gift. And I was like, okay. So then they talk about going to the mom's house and dropping off the gift. And he asked her, you know, you want me to drop it off to the door? You want me to, or you want to take it? She's like, no, I don't want to take it. She concerned about if that's going to create some type of trigger and make her want to go out and use. So apparently she got this son that almost had me confused. I'm like, she's saying children, but she just talking about this one child. She got twins that live in Ohio. Twin girls. All I can say is, Christina, worry about getting your life together before you try and get back in these kids' life. Because you say it was an 8-year journey into your addiction. Like, before you was full blown. So, like, there were a whole lot of times that you could have said, hold on, I need to grasp at something and get this back together. If you was living in a house and had a minivan and then you went to living in your grandma's basement. It didn't have to be this way. But these were your choices that you made that created it. And now you feel like people should, like, extend you some grace because, I don't know, maybe you've been clean for the past 7 months since you've been locked up. I don't know. But no, I don't blame that your parents still see you as the addict and the thief that you became. And at this point, the best interest is about the child, not about you. So if you really love your son, you would take that in consideration and love him enough to leave him where he is. She shares that she's been out of that baby life from the age of 6 to 11. She been gone. And then she worried about, if I move to Indianapolis, I'm going to be like 10 hours away. You've been away for longer than that. So 10 hours not going to take away nothing. Work on you before you try to work on getting back into that child's life. Lastly, we got Shantae and True. True said Shantae tricked him. Right? How she do that? Say that she tricked him with his time and building her up and showing her love. So what he was trying to convey was that she used him to receive all these things from him, to build up her self-esteem, to give her love and attention, and make her feel good about herself. And took his time. But that's all you had. Time. That's all you had on your hand. Time, baby. Time. And so she was like, no, what I did was love you. So now he wanna get a conversation going, talking about, oh, so now you don't love me no more, you know. She like, close my door. Close my door. She wasn't with it. So he closed the door. She drove off. And she waited till she got all the way far from that house. Then she cried. She expressed how stupid she felt. She said, you know, I should have listened. I should have put me first when I was putting me second. And always putting Truth first. And I never put me first. And after all of that, it still backfired on me. And I'm still looking stupid. All I could say is count your blessings, cut your losses. It could have been worse. You could have took him back with you, and then you wouldn't be able to get rid of him. So applaud yourself for realizing in the final hour, I gotta go. That's all that matters, Shantae. Pick up the pieces. Go back home to your kids. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. But you got some things to work on as it pertains to self. You can't look for love from somebody else if you don't pour into yourself with unconditional love. If it don't come from you first, to have that expectation to get it from somebody else is huge and unrealistic. But then Truth said, you know, it is what it is. He called his sister on the phone. He say, I broke up with her. He like, she gone. He say, yeah. So now he got in the back of his mind, I wonder what Tisha doing. And I'm like, You think that Alley Cat is gonna be smooth sailing, but I promise you, bruh, that's more headache than you bargained for. Anyway, that is the episode of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 5. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Let's create a dialogue about these ignorant ass people. Tell me what you think. Is Zariah putting too much energy into the thought of Yana? Should she trust Troy more? Do you feel like Shantae finally made the right decision? Do you think she gonna go back? And Letitia, what you think is up for her next? So again, thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Until next time. Mwah.